Rajkumar.
Hi, Aman. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Right.
Aman. Yeah.
Okay. Once again, very good evening. So today we will cover up the flexible workflows configuration. So till yesterday, we did what are workflows? Why do we need it? What is the actual use? When to use this workflows? The workflows. How does SAP define it in the under the best practice? Then the flexible workflows, some basic details of the flexible workflows. Then we came into the workflow applications, which applications are there. Then the release strategy of the workflow and the flexible workflow difference. So, okay, then we had the configuration steps. So we stopped at configuration steps on the 11th slide. Uh, from 11th slide, we will do today. So the last part will be our manage workflows for PR and PO. I'll show you how to do this. So today we will start with the scenario activation, the flexible workflow activation, then the task name. This is done by your basis team. The client dependent configuration. This is done by the ABAP team. Task specific customization. This is also done by the ABAP team. And push notifications. This is done by the Fiori consultant with.
Aman, we are not able to see your screen.
Okay, 1 second. This you have to tell me before, right? So whenever I share my screen, I tell that I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so we have 7 steps today till 10th slide we covered, right? Yesterday. So on the 10 steps, we have flexible scenario, flexible workflow scenario activation, then activation for the document type, maintain the task decision points. This decision points will be done by the ABAP person, but you should know, right? You should know why or the what or on what steps your flexible workflow is dependent. This is okay. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so we have all these steps. So these steps, the number third, this first two will be done by us. The task name decision points will be done by the ABAP team. Client dependent configuration, this will be done by the basis team. So it is under the SAP NetWeaver part. This will be done by the basis team. You have the specific task customization. This will be done by your ABAP team. This will be developed by your the activation push notification. So push notifications are like, so whenever let's say you have a task in SAP UI5, what happens, as I told you in the yesterday's session, you will have certain tasks that are needed to be done within a span of 7 days or 14 days. So what about the tasks that are left, right? So in a agency or in our client, the push notification comes into the picture when the client wants the approval to be given within 4 days or within a month. Otherwise, all the left will be shown as push notifications. So this is a separate thing that is needed to be activated in at client level. So per workflow ID, WS ID, that there's one thing workflow ID, it will be activated. This last thing I have given in my current client, I've given it to the end user. Since this is SAP application, it can be given to the core user. So I've given it to the core user of my client. So this was a part of the handover that was asked. So these workflows were very frequently changed because of the strength of our client. Okay, so now we have something that I want you guys to be familiar with before I start. So after the recap, so this is the first part. This is the very first part, or you can say the level 0. Okay, now we have scenarios and task. What is scenario and what is task? So workflow scenarios are like overall workflows will be released with this particular workflow WS ID. WS is your workflow scenario. So this will be specific. But task ID are standard task ID that are assigned by the SAP, and we will activate the release with the help of this task. So each task will have each PR document type or this workflow ID will have certain tasks, and we need to know these tasks. So I've written all these, I've compiled all these for you guys. So you can map these tasks with the reference of your particular, we map this workflow ID with the reference of these tasks. Okay, so workflow scenario, it's considered like a bigger subset. Okay, so under the workflow, you'll have a task ID. Task ID is small, workflow ID is big. So if workflow ID is a folder, the standard task ID will be its subfolder, right? So under this subfolder, we have something called accept or reject. So we will have accept or rejection reasons. That is under the standard task ID, which will be maintained by the ABAP team. Okay, so we have two things here. You can also see there is one more thing called release of purchase requisition item and overall release. Okay, so this is one thing I would like to highlight here. The PO will have only single task. You cannot see any other item release. So why is the release of requisition item as it's given differently? This is given differently because at any given instance of a PR, the items, the requested items might get changed, or the quantity, or the valuation price, or anything related to that item might get changed. So it will trigger another release. Okay, so the whole PR will not be sent. One second. The whole PR will not be sent again. What happens is, let take Abdul. Okay, so I'll take attendance again. Okay, so what happens with our PR is, when we take the attendance, when we make the changes in the purchase requisition item, the overall release of the PR is affected, right? So this PR will not be sent again. So we have certain ticks in the purchase requisition item. We can either, if we tick the both items, then only it will go again. Otherwise, it will just work for overall release. It will not re-trigger the release of the PR item. So I'll show you where the tick is. So we'll be taking the PR and the PO. So I'll show you the basic configuration that is a little different in the PR. Otherwise, everything else with the PR and PO, everything is same. So we'll be majorly taking the PO configuration because it has 2-3 things different. That is the document type activation. So in the PR, you'll not find the document type separately. And these are contracts, scheduling agreements, RFQs, invoices. Everything is separate, right? Even you get the workflow for the Park invoice as complete. So when you put the Park invoice as complete, you'll get the workflow. Service entry sheet is also activated. So I've given the service entry sheet workflow, flexible workflow, the link that is attached in the PPT itself. I mentioned in the previous session also. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So the prerequisites. So this was the one prerequisite that I was telling about. This prerequisite is that in the HR module or the HCM module, human capital management, so they will give you a user ID. So all the SAP user ID will have to be compulsory. This is a compulsory point. This will have to be, they will generate a personal ID number. With that, they will create a BP. BP is under the, there is a separate tile for attributes in organization management change. So they will know what is needed to be done. So since we are not HR people, just we need to tell them that create a business partner per user ID for all users, and only then this will go to approval. Okay, so otherwise this will not work. So they can write their own custom body. So there will be a body that will update all the SAP IDs. So this person number is nothing but the SAP ID. They'll update the SAP ID with the business partner numbers. So if they don't do that, what will happen? So we will not get any ID of the user that will go to the workflow, right? So this is one prerequisite of workflow that is very important and is not a part of the MM module, but we need to do it for approval process. Okay, this is one prerequisite. Next, let's come to the next slide. Okay, so now this is level 1. So now we will start the configuration of settings of workflows. So we have 7 points that we need to finish. So I'll try to sum it up and just ask doubts in the middle, right? So at every step we'll will take doubts, because this is one thing that is very in the demand when you go to the real life scenarios of the project. You will be asked to configure the flexible workflows. This will be a mandatory requirement, or this will be a turn point for your interview, right? You can say that we have done flexible workflows in a practice environment. We can configure it, and it's quite easy. So they'll ask questions, right? How do you do that, and what are the prerequisites? So you can tell all these steps. Okay, so in the configuration, the first step is flexible workflow scenario activations. So right now, what we told was the scenario is the in the folder. It's the topmost folder, right? So we'll go to the materials management, purchasing, PR, flexible workflow scenario activation for PR. So let's go to, okay, so we'll go to OLME directly. OLME is purchasing only. So we have two nodes under this, your purchase requisition and your purchase order. So I'll go to the purchase requisition first. So this was ECC release procedure, right? So these were the release procedures. Now we'll not go there. Okay, now we have scenario activation. So what it is, they are asking for the flexible workflow per requisition, then scenario activation. Okay, so purchase requisition, then scenario activation. Now we'll go to scenario activation. Now what? We have the particular task IDs, right? So what are the task IDs? So 1 second. Okay, so this is my task ID 458. 1 second. So this is 458 per task ID. This is already changed. So I've already ticked it. You just need to tick activate, nothing else. It is very easy. Just it will not be maintained, or sometimes it will be maintained but not activated. You need to go to positions, just click on activate. After this, you need to maintain this also. 1 second, I'll also show you this. 271 will be to 471, right? Okay, so here it is. This task will be activated. So you can see it is active. It was activated on the same time. So this is just a replica of my live environment. It is not my live environment. You can call it quality also. Okay, so you can see these two. So I told you just 5-6 minutes ago, I told you that what happens if we not tick this, right? So this is our, that's okay. Let me shift it like this. Okay, so we have two IDs, 458 and 471. So these two, the purchase requisition, overall release, and the release of purchase requisition item. So sometimes what will happen, that you might miss this. You might miss the release of purchase requisition item. And if you do miss this, what will happen? The system will only trigger for the overall release. It will not be changed per requisition item. Okay, so whenever you change the requisition item, you just need to tick both. Otherwise, the system will not consider to re-trigger the workflow. Okay, so this is one activating scenario. This is one thing. Okay, scenario activation done. Let's go to the purchase order. I'll show you the PO also. We'll do it simultaneously. Purchase order, flexible workflow. Under this, scenario activation. So under this, we'll have 448. 1 second. No, 238. Okay. So this scenario will be there. Okay, it is already activated, right? Nothing to be worried about. This is very simple. So these two have been activated. The PR and the PO has been activated. So let's go back. Okay, this first step is done. It is very easy. Now we'll come to the second part, the document type activation. Okay, so we'll go and check the document type. So under the materials management node, purchasing OLME, that is, then PR, flexible workflow requisition, then activate flexible workflow. I think in 1909 there was no document type. Here we have document type, activate flexible workflows for purchase order workflow. This is PO. This is the document type, right? So I have not gone anywhere. This is the OLME node, OLME under this purchase order flexible workflow. We went to scenario activation, and I'll go to activate flexible workflow for purchase order. So we'll check for the PR also. I'm not sure. I think in 9009 they didn't had the PRs document type. Let me just confirm once. Okay. So we have custom, right? You can see this NB we have not ticked, right? Why? This NB is not ticked. In the last session also I mentioned that whenever you activate the flexible workflow, never ever use it for the standard. Always copy the standard, do any changes you want to do. You can do in the custom. All these Z will have the flexible workflow scenario activated, right? Whichever you want, you can activate. So if you want this stigmatal PO, this replacement service, anything, whatever you want, you can check it here. If you don't check it here, it will not work. This is a config that might go missing. Let's click on save. PR changes. Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, this done. So we'll check for purchase requisitions also. I'll close this node. I'll go to purchase requisition. Okay, it is there. Activate flexible workflow for purchase requisitions. So we have overall release and then the scenario based release. So we need to tick both. So whenever you have scenarios, right? Flexible workflow scenarios, you'll go with the overall release and the flexible workflow release. You can also check this implementation guide. So it says you need to activate the flexible workflows. In this customizing activity, you will adapt the flexible workflow settings of the PR according to requirements. So overall release, what does this overall release mean? It means that if you select the items in the if you select the checkbox, then the items in the purchase requisition they will be released at the same time rather than individually. If you check the scenario based, okay, so you need to check both. If you check both this, then the scenarios for the flexible workflow will be re-triggered, right? It will be activated per document type. So this will happen per document type, or you can do it with the overall release. Okay, so we'll check both. You can put this or you can put the scenario based. So per document it will go, or it will go overall release. So nothing to be worried about. You can take both. It's fine. Let's go back. Okay. So we have done for both overall release, and we have whatever I marked. It is the same. This red line or this red box. Just remember this red box. Whenever you will go through the PPT or the configs, you can maintain the same config here. Whatever is there in the screenshot. Okay. So till now it is clear, right? Till now it is clear. We'll go with the ABAP part. What does ABAP guy or the basis team will do? Is it clear till now?
Yes, Kamal.
Guru Raj, Rajkumar, Abdul, any issues?
Sure, it's fine.
Okay. Actually, I've seen a lot of consultants getting panic in the workflow. You guys are very intelligent. Like, okay. So we'll go with the we'll go with the third point, that is the maintain task. So we have completed till the step 1, step 2, and now we'll go with the task name and decision points. So this step includes the task name. Task name is the TS. So now right now we activated the workflow ID. Now we need to activate the task and the decision points. So per task, let's say I want to release a PO, or I want to release a PR or the PR item or a contract. Then there will be 2 decisions. So decision will be either accepted or rejected. And then under accept, is the command mandatory or is the command not mandatory? So we can also configure all these in the decision points and the task activity. So this is a ABAP activity. So this is the ABAP platform, SAP Gateway Enablement Content, Workflow Settings, Maintain Task Name and Decision Points. So this is one activity that we need to do. So you will see the tasks, right? So we will see the task, that is the workflow ID that we maintained. Under this, we'll have our under this we'll have a decision point. Okay, I think this is visible. So we'll have a decision point, except reject or the comment is positive and negative. So this is one thing that your ABAP team will do. It is not our part, but we should know what they do, right? As a functional consultant, we should know what everyone else is doing, and we should know our part also. In case, just in case, there is a issue with your flexible workflow, you should be able to fix it by yourself. Okay, so let's go to. Okay, 1 second. /shell. Then we'll go to SPRO. SPRO, then SAP IMG reference, SAP NetWearer, service enablement, content. Okay, 1 second. Content, workflow settings, maintain task, workflow settings. Then we have maintain task and decision options. So you can also go with this, the configuration help guide. So this is nothing but your help guide. So it will tell you how to do. When you will log in the system, there will be a task. If you need to read the task, then maintain the task. Then under that, you'll get the structure, step name, select the entry, workflow ID, and step ID. You can set these. So we'll go and find our PO. So this is the purchase requisition item release. Let me recheck with the task ID. So these were our tasks, right? Okay, so we'll go and check for the PR first. Okay. 458. Not sure why this is empty. Check for PO. Okay, so we'll check. We'll go with the PO. This is the task ID. So this is task ID. This is the step decision name. So you can also check for the RFQ. RFQ is also ready, already maintained here. So we have this task ID, then the step ID. So this will be something that that will be given by the ABAP team. This is nothing on our part. This will be given by the ABAP team. The workflow IDs will give it to ABAP, right? So these workflow IDs that we have maintained, we'll give it to ABAP team. Then we have our task IDs. So this is our task ID. I'll copy it. Okay. So we have this release of purchase order. We'll go to the decision keys. Then we have MIME repository. This is something that is related to ABAP. We are not worried about this. Then we have comment on or comment off, right? So this comment on or off means that whenever you approve, why are you approving, or what is the reason? If your client is asking that, then you can put. But in the negative, mostly generally I have seen in the negative reasons, we put it on a comment on. Okay, I don't think so. There's okay, yeah. Okay, so you need to put this comment on or off. That is one important thing. You can also skip it. It will not give issues. So this under this workflow ID, the ABAP team will maintain the positive and the negative check. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back again. There's one thing that I think was there. Okay, nothing here. Yeah. Okay. So so this is one setting. This is one prerequisite that I've not mentioned. This will be purely a ABAP thing. So under this maintain workflow filter settings, you will get this execute button. So you will have the workflow standard or this. This is the workflow engine, right? This is the standard workflow engine. This is some handling of tasks. This is advanced workflows. So under this, they will maintain all the settings that we saw, the MIME repository and all. So there will be some, yeah, this business workflow will be maintained by your SAP will give that. Last change by SAP, you can see SAP ID. So whenever you will have all these settings, they will give it. Okay, under the categories, This message templates were there. I'm not sure about the category. Let's go check. So there was some MIME repository. I'll need to check that once again in the general. Okay. This is something related to ABAP, all the NetWearer things. We don't need to go here, but this was one thing that my ABAP team once shared with me, that the basic in the ABAP, they will have this mine box, they will have SMS text, they will have text links, all these are the ABAP things, and some ABAP workflow was also there. Okay, I'm not sure about all these, but let's go back. So mostly this will be done by the ABAP team, but this task you need to check once. You need to maintain all these tasks and decision points with the help of ABAP team, or the ABAP team will maintain for you. Okay, let's go back. Okay, we were on this page. So we checked what is the decision points. Then we'll go maintain the client dependent activity. So the client dependent activity will be our materials management, purchase order, flexible workflow, and the client dependent configuration. So what is the client dependent configuration? So this is one thing that is related to our the task. Okay, so all the tasks will be maintained somewhere. So how these tasks are linked? Right now we maintain the decision points, right? We maintain the task names, the decision points, the step IDs, how it is going to react. But till now we have not configured the we have not configured the client dependent configuration. So client dependent means it will impact all the clients. It will impact all your the clients in the development or the quality or the production. So production has only one client. Let's say in quality you have pre-prod quality something. So you will have this activity there. So we'll go to the materials management node. We'll go to purchasing. We'll go to purchase orders. Under this, we'll have flexible workflows. Then we'll have client dependent configuration. Under this, okay, so this will NWBC, this is the standard NetWearer business workflow inbox. You will go and just select the SAP UI5 my inbox. So this is one application that we talked about in the previous session. So this application, what it has, it will have all the tasks, right? So this task, whatever task we had, one second, we had, okay, let's say you have this task, okay, we'll select this one. Then you have this parameters. So what are the parameters? All these parameters will tell how your task is getting visualized, how it will go. Okay, it will go to the UI5 application, or it will go to the Mindbox general application, or where, right? You can also ask the team to put it into the My Inbox general application. So this all tasks will be going into the general application. So let's click here. So these are the paths. So you don't need to maintain anything here. This is just the task activity. You don't need to maintain anything here. Just maintain the task, and if there anything else is required, then maintain that. These parameters. So what are these parameters? Visual parameters. So this is a scheme. Scheme is SAP UI5 component name. So this is some component that you will find in the SAP Fiori app library. This component will be there. This is OData services. So this OData service is a query parameter. It will work with the flexible workflow. This is a Fiori. This is purely a Fiori thing. The UI5 consultant maintain here. Then this technical name, I'm not sure about this at all, because this is related to Fiori and ABAP. So these activities will be done by these parameters will be sent by the Fiori and the ABAP team. Okay, majorly ABAP will do this part, but Fiori can also help, right? So because these services are OData services of the workflow, so ABAP will have a better knowledge on the OData services than the Fiori guy. But this component is given by the Fiori team, or you can also check by yourself. Okay, let's close this. You get it, right? All these tasks are needed to maintain. Where will it go? To the inbox general application. then the parameters. So you'll have a workflow consultant. So workflow consultant will work with OData services and the Fury and my inbox application. All these will be the forte of your ABAP person. They will have good experience in all these. So I don't want to save anything since this is a dummy environment. Let's okay. So we have all these parameters. So these parameters will be maintained by your Fury team or the ABAP team. Okay, so client dependent configuration is done. So you guys have any doubt in this client dependent configuration? So just the parameters are needed to maintain, not our part, but this is a configuration that is done by the ABAP team. Okay, let's go to the next step. So this is again we'll go to this the business management application server, business management, business workflow, then the tasks and the customizing. So this is ABAP event linkage and agent assignment. So how agent is assigned for the PO, PR, we will check that in this fifth step. So right now we are left with two other steps. So I'll take it slowly. If you have any doubts, please ask till now. Otherwise, I will go ahead. Anuradha, Abdul, Rajkumar, Guru Raj. Hello.
I don't have any doubts as of now.
Okay, fine. So I'll go with the fifth steps, that is the ABAP platform. So under the ABAP platform, we'll have the SAP NetWeaver. Okay. So this is SAP NetWeaver. That is something related to our ABAP platform contents. Okay, skip. Okay, so right now we have this SAP NetWeaver. It is 1909. Otherwise, you'll have the same configurations. Okay, so under this we have the application server. So they said ABAP platform. ABAP platform means the application server, right? SAP NetWeaver. So we have SAP NetWeaver application server. Under this, we'll go with the business management node. Then we'll have the business workflows. Under this, we will have all these settings. Under all these settings, we will go with the flexible workflow. Then we'll go to the edit. No. 1 second. Performs task specific. Business workflows perform task specific customization. Okay, this is not the node. Yeah, okay, this is the node. Perform task specific customizing. So under this, what we'll find? We'll find our we'll find the folders. So it's taking some time to load. So whenever you load, this is something related to the business management, right? SAP will load a little. So you'll find under SAP all the workflows, BEI, this ISPM, CRM, MMCO, all these workflows that are there, you'll find all these, right? So you need to go find MM. So under MM, 1 second, let me find MM. Okay, so this is MM, right? Materials management, you will find all these. So this is nothing but your customizing the agent types on the event linking. So event linking, if this linking is missing in the purchase orders or in the PRs, then it will be difficult for you guys to map. Sorry, it will be difficult for the system to find that these events are triggered or not. So we'll go to this folder type structure under the SAP. We'll go to the purchase order. Under the purchasing purchase, then we'll go to the PO, then we will go to the assign agents and event linkage. So this is two things that we need to do. Okay, so they have gone to the assigned agent and event linkage. Okay, now they have selected the workflow scenario object IDs, right? So the object ID that we had, they have selected the same workflow ID On expanding the hierarchy, they will see the activated. So they activated the event linkage only. Then the okay, let's go back. So we'll check the assign agents first. There's not much configuration in the assigned agents. Only the activate event linkage is there. So under the linkage, what we do is we will put the task ID. So once we activate it, whatever flexible workflow will be there, the scenario will work. Okay. Not sure why this is getting. Okay. Okay, so this is under the agents. So under the agents, we have a certain task IDs, right? Release of purchase order, automatic release, release centrally, automatic release centrally managed. So these exact settings will be mapped by us in the flexible workflow application that is already there in the theory. So this is standard. We'll not touch this. Okay. So if we go to the release of purchase order attributes, so this is attributes. These will be standard. Will not assign anything. Okay. This, always remember, will not assign anything. If you want, you can check the general class and transfer these classifications. Okay. This classification is nothing but the professional, disciplinary, and personal. So this is in the three categories SAP divide the workflows. So no class means nothing is defined. Everything in the workflow will be there in the my inbox. I'll tell you when I'll tell you this in the next session why this professional, personal, and disciplinary is there. When I'll tell you about substitution of my inbox application. So there is one scenario of managed substitutes. So substitute means, let's say Abdul is absent, right? And then Rajkumar is supposed to take over the task that is there in the inbox of Abdul. So right now, what is happening is in all these tasks will be divided into three categories: professional, personal, and disciplinary. All other tasks will be defined as no class. So you can just click on the general task, click on transfer. Okay, so this is one part of the classification. I'll tell you how classification works in the managed substitute of the next session. So just attend that also. Okay, let's go back. We'll go to the event linkage, activate event linkage, or we can also check with the PR. Let's go to the PR first. Okay, we'll find the PR later on. Nothing to be worried about. Okay, this is the PO, right? Now we have tasks. So whatever task we have, we'll go check what task ID is there. They are checked for the purchase requisitions for the task IDs. We have gone into the, okay. So this is the task ID. This is the workflow ID that is already there, 238, right? Okay, 1 second. This is my 238 workflow ID is there, right? And 531 is my task ID. So this is my workflow ID, workflow for purchase order. Okay, you can see it is activated. So if I don't activate, what will happen? If I don't activate, this event linkage is not done. My workflow will not appear in the manage workflow screen. So if you want your workflow to be appeared in the manage workflow, this is a class. This what this means is the PO, the purchase order settings, like how you want to define the release, right? There are steps. These steps will not be defined, or this steps will not be visible if this event linkage is not done properly. So just maintain these, and you can check if this is activated or not. You can also check the details view. So these are the detail view, event linkage, submit for approval. This are receiver type, and this is event linkage activated. Always make sure this is ticked. If this is not ticked, it will not work. Close. Okay, I think it is my server is a little slow. So today I was having some DB issues. I think somebody is fixing that. That is why. Okay.
Yes, flexible workflow can we execute in ECC, Aman, or it is
No.
solely for HANA
This
only?
is solely for HANA.
Okay.
This is why Mayur
The
told you
release
guys.
strategy what we have in ECC,
Yeah.
it is the same in flexible workflow also.
Abdul, there's one thing with the release strategy I would like to point out. We discussed in the release strategy 1 second yesterday. There's one point was there in the release strategy. So sometimes what happens in the release strategy that you can either use the classical workflow. Classical workflow is your release strategy, or the flexible workflow. You cannot use both uh, for the same activity. Like let's say you want to release the PO, right? You can either use the flexible workflow or you can either use the release strategy. First thing. Then second thing, let's say you are
Release strategy is there in HANA also now.
yeah. Still, I
You
showed
can
it
use
in
it,
the
right?
config, right? Yeah, I showed in the config also. Let me open slash show OLME. So under the OLME, you can. Okay, I think it didn't work. So in the OLME, you can go to the purchase order. This is flexible workflow. This is release strategy. Class characteristics, everything is there. Release strategy is there. You can execute and put your classes. The release code will be there, right? If you have attended the ECC sessions, they will be talking about all these release strategies. So I will not take up the release strategy. I was just going to point out the difference, the benefits, and why are we using this flexible workflow. Okay, so there is one thing I would like to highlight on Abdul's question. We also talked about this. So you will not have a different. You cannot use the different release procedures. You can only use flexible workflow or the classic workflow. That is the release strategy. One and then other thing, it is already there. It will always be there. The release strategy will always be there in the S4 HANA also, because some projects like to use these custom workflows via the workflow builder. Instead, we as using the scenario based activation of the workflows, we will start the uh, we'll start the workflow very early. So all these parts are all these parts of the workflow, flexible workflow, it's uh, taking very less time to implement. Okay, so the deployment time is very less. Then there was one other thing that we talked about was in the okay, not this one. There was one other thing that okay. So if you want to use the purchase requisition, right? If you want to use the PR, let's say manage purchase requisition centrally or create purchase requisition advanced. All these application will only work with the release strategy. If you want to use the RFQ, okay, create request for quotation centrally, then you will need then SAP will ask you to use the same kind of workflows. Okay, so in PO and PR you can use release strategy, but in RFQ it will show errors. So if you are using the same application, then it will be compatible. Otherwise, it will directly say that kindly use this. And even SAP after S4 HANA, SAP also recommends to use this release strategy. Okay, so yeah, one more thing. I don't have a Fury uh, in this. I don't have a Fury consultant that will help me in push notifications. I'll skip this part, but I'll tell you how it is configured. So we can check once with for the Fury notifications. So this is one thing that I will not be able to properly demonstrate, but yes, we can check the configurations. Okay, so let's go back to the part. So we did client dependent, perform task. Now we'll go to the push notifications. So we have 12 more minutes. So I think we'll be able to complete till 6 point. 7 point and the substitute, manage substitute, I'll share with you guys tomorrow. So this is one thing I have not added in the list in the manage substitute, but sometimes the client will say, right, we are absent. What do we need to do? Please switch our task. So we'll not go to all the tools and all and shift their task. So I'll share with the tools also in the first slide. I think I mentioned the tools also. Yeah, this SWI5, SWIA, SWIJ, all these tools I'll share with you how to use this table. This will much easier to get a grab on the workflow part. So workflow I am focusing a lot because this is one thing that defines me differently from the other functional consultant. They don't know how to use the workflow, and if they get stuck, they'll just raise it to SAP. I can work on the workflow by myself. This is one thing that that is a key point that you should have. Okay, all these guys will in the market, they'll not have the specific the confirmation that they will be able to do that, right? The interview will directly ask, can you do the workflow? Can you handle our flexible workflow scenarios? Okay, tell us the event linkage. What will it do for us, and how it is different in the release strategy? All these points will be asked in the interviews. Okay, so we'll go to the push notifications. This is one push notification config. We'll go for the task number. I think it will be activated like this. So you'll have the activation, the text, the version, and the workflow step ID. So this step ID is nothing but the workflow step. We have 19 for our release order. So right till now we have checked, right? So this was the release order. This was our 238 was our flexible workflow. Okay, so we can directly go to the T code, or for the activate Fiori 2.0 notifications, we can directly go to the T code, SWF push notifications. So why do we need to activate? So we need to activate push notification just in the case of where we think that our client might have a requirement of date. Let's say the client wants to get the notification that this inbox is getting full, or with the tasks that are left behind, and it is already there in the inbox after like 7 days or 14 days. So you can activate the push notifications for that. So we'll go copy this, we'll put in the screen, right? /n, then the T code, SWF underscore push underscore notif 1. Here we'll go to the customizing. Customizing means we'll do the changes, right? So we'll have a lot of scenarios that are activated. You can check all these scenarios will have the green tick. So we are looking for something specific, that is our 458. 1 second, over release of purchase request. So we'll go with the purchase request. 1 second. This is the purchase request, 458. I don't think, okay, there are positions, task number. Okay, so this is one thing. This is the task number, this is the version. So they have used the workflow step 19. Why 19? Because that is what we maintain in the other steps. So in the client dependent activity in the materials management, and in the ABAP activities of ABAP activities of NetWearer event linkage, we maintain this workflow step as 19. So this will have the active on or off. This is one. Customizing or the changes that we need to do in the flexible workflow for our push notifications. You can see the actions, right? I think this action should be green. 1 second. This action should be green. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Only the text is green. Action is not green. Okay. Let me check once. 458. Okay. There are some text presence. So what this ABAP team or this Fiori team, what they will do is they'll go to this T code, they'll put some text. The approve of purchase request. This is object ID. Object ID means the task that you're performing, that task, the purchase request, and this after this and what happens, they will concatenate. In Excel, you can see the formula. After and, what they do is they'll use the header of the purchase request. Purchase request HDR. HDR means header. They'll concatenate it the purchase request number. Okay. So what they do is approve purchase request. The ID of that object ID. This is the task number. They'll have a separate object ID. So I'll show you how object ID looks like. Then they'll put the purchase request with the purchase request number. So it will appear like approve purchase request. Then the purchase request task means this purchase request number. Okay, so this is one thing that your Fiori person will do. This is, they will activate this on and off button. Okay, let's go back. So I'll show you the task IDs also, I think. So we'll have some task ID on that date because the dump was taken very late after that. Okay, so this is the task ID, right? This is your task ID. Whatever workflow is there, workflow for service entry sheet, we have this on workflow for the purchase orders, right? So these tasks. So as I said, approve the purchase order, then they will concatenate. They'll concatenate the PO number, right? So if you go in the same task, I'm just giving you an overview. This will do in the next session. So this is something that is related to the workflow. This is workflow bench or the workflow bench tools. So I'll give you the overview. 1 second. So we have 5 more minutes. So let's talk about this only. Okay, so they have given approve the workflow. Then they have the number purchase order. In the given example I shared with you guys was approve the workflow or the, okay, then this is the work item ID, this is the task ID, the name, how will they do is they'll put the concatenation, they'll put the and they'll add this name. Okay, this is the nomenclature that is there. You can also change this. You can change this with the help of Fiori person and the app team. Okay, this is the task ID that we have. So you can see these workflows are working for me with the same task ID. 238 was my task ID. So you can see this push notification was enabled for 238 release of purchase order version 000. Okay, so this is my task ID 238. It is working, and this will be our agent, workflow agent, SAP_WFRT. Okay, this is a little technical, I guess. I'll just go back. Let's complete our presentation. I think, okay, 6th step is done. From 7th step, we'll take it after tomorrow. I'll just give you a little overview of tomorrow's session. So this is just end user activity or the business analyst activity. So defining the workflows, what are workflows you need to know. So just in case you get landed up to a role of business analyst. So business analyst works as a mediator between the functional consultant and the core user or the team of the core team of the or the master data team of the client. So you might be frequently asked to create the workflows during the transfers of the people in the people of the client. So what they will do is they will ask you to document, or this, since this is very simple, this can be developed by the end user or the business analyst. So you can either transfer it to the client, or you can do it by yourself. So we have a lot of apps. So in the first session we talked about some different apps. Okay, so every flexible workflow app starts with manage. So when we go to the manage flexible workflow or manage workflows, so we'll get manage workflow for purchase orders, purchase requisitions, supplier invoice, RFQs, central purchase contracts. All these application will be there. You can pre-activate them by telling your Fiori consultant. How will you pre-activate them? You can pre-activate them by the SAP Fiori app library. Okay, so this is one thing that we'll cover in the next session. I think till today it is clear, right? Okay, for the push notification that I shared with you guys just right now, for the push notification, you'll get it in the alarm bells. The alarm bell is there in the login screen. This is one feature with the Fiori 2.0. Currently we're on Fiori 3.0. So it was introduced in 1905. Right now it's Fiori 3.0. We are working with the BTP and the low code or the no code development. So I'll also tell you what are the changes in all these S4HANA versions. Okay, so the Fiori 2.0 introduced was having the bell notification button. This bell notification button means that you will get the notification that this is overdue, right? This 19 days overdue, or approve this requisition or approve this purchase order, that is already there in the my inbox. Okay, So I'll also tell you what is Mindbox: reject, approve, show law, claim, release, forward, suspend, and share. So we'll tell about these. Okay, exception handling. Then we'll conclude tomorrow. So I'll add one more slide of manage substitute. I think manage substitute is one thing that will be separately taken. Okay, so from tomorrow we'll start with the 7th step. That is our configuration of the workflow scenarios in the procurement. Okay, nice. Okay, so do we have any doubts till here? Anuradha, Guru Raj, Rajkumar. Any doubts, Abdul? I think this is quite an activity. I'll stop sharing. Just let me know if you have any doubts so we can conclude the session. Today's session is over. Okay, if you have no doubts, I'll stop the recording. Guys, please let me know if you have any doubts.